Hi guys, 2014 drawing to an end. I think it's been a good year for those of us that are into our gadgets and our phones. A lot of fantastic devices have hit the market in the last 12 months. So I thought I'd do a quick summary on what I think the best devices are. This is just my opinion, and it's not even necessarily based on which one I think is the best, but really I suppose about what I would recommend to people if they were asking me what phone they should buy, which is quite different because I do like a very good, loud, decent speaker, and I like a big phone. Other people might not care about speaker and they like small phones. So it'd be silly for me to suggest to them Nexus 6 is the device for you or whatever it might be. So starting off with number 5 is the HTC One M8. Now we're going back a good few months to get to that device, which I think a lot of people may have forgotten about it by now, unless of course you own one. But actually, it was one of the smoothest devices, especially at the time. It was so slick and smooth, no lag, very fluid, really quite impressive. Then you've got the sort of beautiful design of the phone itself, the metal all-in-one block almost that it's carved out of. Some fantastic stereo front-facing speakers. The camera was a little, could have been better. I think that's where it really got let down. And of course it's a little dated now, so if someone was asking for recommendations, that's perhaps why I wouldn't spring right to the fore mine. But at the same time, I think it set the standard for a lot of phones that came later on in the year. So we move on to number 4, which is the Sony Xperia Z3. I think it's a very classy looking phone. I like the old slabber phone design, obviously. Had amazing battery life, had a very good camera, very smooth and fluid operating system. Throw into that it's waterproof as well, and actually it's quite hard to find a flaw with that device. I know Z3 owners are very passionate about it. They might be a little upset it's as low down as 4th, but tough field this year. So we move on to the 3rd place, which is for me, I'm going to say the Samsung Note 4. You might be wondering why it's 3rd when it's probably going to be my choice of device for the next sort of 10 or 11 months. But again, it's not about necessarily what I think is best, it's about what I would kind of recommend to people, I suppose. I think the Note 4 moved in the right direction with the premium feel, with the metal surround. It's got an amazing screen. It's probably the best screen that you'll find on a phone this year. Probably the best camera you'll find on a phone this year. I like the additions of the fingerprint sensor and the stylus. And it really, I mean, I could make a strong argument that it should be number 1. But it's, as I say, it's a very tough field. I'm going to put it in there at 3. Just recently nudged out of place by the number 2, the Nexus 6. Now, this is the one that might get a lot of abuse. I don't know. Having said that, I did a poll. I selected a bunch of phones and said, okay, let's imagine you've been given £600. What device would you pick? And the Nexus 6 was a clear winner with about 56% of the votes on about 60 odd votes. So actually maybe it'll be about more people saying why was it a number 1. But the Nexus 6, I mean, you could argue as well that part of it's to do with its operating system being Lollipop. A Lollipop is beautiful, it's slick, it's smooth, it's fluid. Mine's still encrypted and it's just so smooth. I think it's amazing. Unlike last year's Nexus 5, it's got a great camera and it's got fantastic battery life. So 2 of the big flaws from yesterday have been addressed. So, you know, that's why it is there's something about it. It feels good in the hand, feels premium, it looks nice. It surprised me, to be honest, that I ended up liking it so much. Now, obviously, it's not one to recommend if someone doesn't like a big phone. That's when we're looking back at the M8 or the Z3, or the number 1 device, which might get a bit of abuse, is the OnePlus One. Now, it's got great performance, it's got that close to stock feel with CyanogenMod, although I'm not sure what route that's going to go with the recent problems they've had. It's got amazing battery life, it looks good. When you get used to the rough feel of it, actually it feels good in the hand. The biggest thing though is the price of this thing, £270, but it's such a premium feeling device with premium packaging. The only slight drawback, I found that it didn't register touches all of the time, but not enough that I found it a problem. So I mean, the reason I put it at number 1 is, if someone's asking me, I need to buy a new phone, I've dropped mine in the toilet or whatever, the OnePlus One has to be considered at that price. Now, the big drawback being, of course, it is still invite only, so whether you can actually get hold of one is a different matter, but it is an amazing device. What phones missed out of that? Well, The LG G3 needs a mention really. The first Quad HD screen, laser focusing, some great selfie options within the camera app. I thought it was lacking a little bit in the performance, and the button configuration and position frustrated me a bit, but still a very good device. And I think, of course, the Samsung Galaxy S5, we're going back to the start of nearer the beginning of the year. So really just kind of what you would expect from Samsung though, great screen, great camera, good battery life, good features, but maybe nothing that really made it sort of stand out for me, which is perhaps why I didn't stick it into this top 5. So there you go, that's my top 5. Post in the comments your top 5, post in the comments where you think I'm an idiot. No, don't call me an idiot, let's not get abusive. People do get abusive when they disagree with your opinion. Anyway, but those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Have a happy new year.